Almost 50% of households in the United States have a dog, according to the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And the most common victims of animal cruelty involve dogs, according to the Humane Society of the United States. On today's Community NEPA, we focus solely on Basset Hounds and the need to educate the public about the responsibility and commitment that go along with welcoming a dog into your home. Hear from Shema, a dog trainer, dog rescuer, and most importantly, dog lover. Then, hear from members of Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue, a nonprofit corporation dedicated to finding forever homes for homeless Basset Hounds. And finally, celebrating 13 years in this community, we sit down with Shema, the general manager at Sand Springs Country Club, to learn how this business is helping out.
Hi, my name is Shema. I'm here representing Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue, and I got involved in 2009. We decided to rescue a dog, so we went online, we were looking at rescues, and we found Tri-State, and we did our application, and we were lucky enough to adopt.
How did you decide on the Bassets?
We had Basset Hounds. My first Basset was Elvis. We lost him in 2006. After he passed away, I found out a litter was being born a week later. So we got Winston and Lainey, and we've had them, they're now 9. Leroy here is our third rescue from Tri-State. Leroy was from Alabama. He did have an owner and they didn't want him, so they took him to, I guess, a swap meet where they were going to auction him off to the highest bidder. So someone stepped in, found out what was happening, and contacted Tri-State, and we intercepted. In terms of proper care for a dog, when you are looking for a dog to adopt, you want to do your homework, make sure you research the breed, make sure that that breed is going to, work into your lifestyle. If you're very active, you want to make sure you get a dog that will fit into that lifestyle. Another thing to remember is when you bring a dog home, this is a huge responsibility, so make sure you're prepared to take that on. It is your responsibility, legally it's your responsibility to do the right thing, take care of your dog, and that goes beyond food, shelter, water. It's also proper training. You want to spay and neuter your dog in order to be part of the solution as far as overpopulation of dogs and the whole rescue situation that we have. There are too many dogs, not enough homes. It's unfortunately that simple, so to be part of the solution, you want to spay and neuter. It's very important. One less litter of puppies really will make a big impact. Bubba, our first rescue from Tri-State, was in a puppy mill situation. Puppy mills are not a great place, especially for puppies. He didn't have social skills. He was in a crate for the first 1.5 years of his life, which is the most crucial time frame for a dog for learning. So he spent 1.5 years in his crate. Didn't know how to socialize with people, terrified of people. He couldn't look anybody in the eye. So when we got him, we had, like I said, Lainey and Winston, who welcomed him in the house. They're great with other dogs, and he had to learn how to do everything. It was like being free for the first time. He didn't know what a piece of foil was. So if you rattled a piece of foil, this poor dog jumped out of his skin. Cabinet doors closing too hard. I mean, he just couldn't function. So it took a long time for him to gain trust, know that people are not all bad. And it just took a long time. Thanks to Bubba, I learned the problems that are out there and what these dogs go through. And I realized if I could do this for him and give him a better life, how can I help otherwise? So because of him, I wanted to go to school and I became a dog trainer. And through that, I can help as well. I volunteered at shelters. I do work with the rescue as well. I started the dog raising efforts after I got Bubba. We decided, we were so happy to meet him and get him, we wanted to do something good for the rescue. So my husband working here, we were in a good position, so we offered, the opportunity to do a golf tournament, which we're now going on to our 6th year. The golf tournament started in 2010. We do it every summer with the rescue. We bring volunteers here for the day. They can dog sit your dogs if you want to come and bring them for the day if you don't golf. People just volunteer their time. All the money raised goes right to the rescue. So there's whole sponsorships for $50. That money, 100% of that goes right to the rescue. it helps save their lives. All the money raised, it really goes a long way. And it gets the word out too. The more people we can get involved, the more awareness is brought to the cause. You can look on the website for Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue. There's details for all of our fundraisers, where there's plenty of them available for people to get involved in. If anybody is interested in volunteering, donating their time, go to any rescue. They offer events, there's fundraisers where you can help. You can also open your home, foster a dog. And that basically means you take them temporarily until they get their forever home. You can donate your money, you can donate services at these events, volunteer your time, make any kind of donation. Anything helps.
What is the message that you would like to get out to the community as far as rescue?
As far as rescue is concerned, my biggest message is a dog that you take in is your sole responsibility. It is a member of the family. It is not something that you buy as a gift and then, you know what, I'm sick of you and we're gonna just get rid of you. That's contributing to the problem, and we need more solutions.
Mandy has seen firsthand the neglect of Basset Hounds and has stepped up to the plate to help find a solution to the problem. Think about becoming a volunteer for the Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue. After the break, learn more about the corporation and meet the faces behind the rescue. They share personal stories and even have some surviving furry friends with them. And what's the board waddle? You'll want to stay tuned to CommUNITY NEPA to find out. Welcome back to CommUNITY NEPA. Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue operates solely on 100% volunteers. Money raised is done through donations and fundraisers and helps find homes for homeless Basset Hounds in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware.
My name is Kathy Frisch. I'm with Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue, and I became involved about 9 years ago when I had just lost my dog, my Basset Hound, to cancer, and was heartbroken and went out to find a puppy and ended up going to a puppy mill, which I really did not know anything about at the time I got my dog. And it was about a year later that I attended the board waddle down in Ocean City, New Jersey, which is run by Tri-State. And I would say 500 to 600 Basset Hounds come down there a year. And they walk on the boardwalk and we dress our dogs up. And it was through there I became involved with Tri-State, wanting to help raise money, got to know the people, and that's how it started. Tri-State is a Basset Hound rescue. It is a 100% volunteer rescue. There's nobody on our rescue that gets paid any kind of money, and everything that we do is done by donations or by funding. When you're going to look and get yourself a Basset Hound, it is very important that you read up on these dogs because they're not for everybody. They're low, they're lazy sometimes. They drool, they shed, they love their food, and it's just not for everybody. If you're looking for a dog that wants to run 100 miles with you or go jogging with, 80% of the time this is not the dog for you. They're a scent hound, and they take their time when they walk, they smell everything. Bella came from, believe it or not, the same dog puppy mill that I got my Baxter from, who is at home on the sofa right now today. She was a breeder dog. Baxter and Bella, I took her. She actually is a half-sister to my Baxter. And they breed their dogs. They were breeding their dogs every 6 months. And we got her when she was 6.5 years old, and they figured she had been bred 8 to 10 times already. Twice a year for 5 years. When we got her, her nipples were hanging on the ground. She had to have 3 mammary reductions. Lived her entire life outside in a kennel. Never housebroken, scared to death of thunder, just absolutely scared to death of thunder. And after having her now 3 years, she's finally becoming socialized. She's coming out of her shell, she greets people, she's happy, and she now plays. One of the most important things that I like about our dogs coming into our system is we try to get them into foster homes, and through the foster homes we can analyze the dog. Does the dog get along with other dogs? Does he like cats? Is he good around children? How do we get all these things? Is he afraid? Food aggression? And when we put our dogs up on the adoption site and you fill out an application, which we will screen you, we will talk to you, we will check up on you. We want to know, what are you looking for? Do you have children? Do you have cats? Do you have anything else? Are you gone more than 8 hours a day? These are the kind of things that we ask to set you up with the perfect dog.
Where should people know not to purchase their dogs?
Puppy mills, pet shops, anything like that. All pet shops are funded by puppy mills. Do your homework, research. Facebook, what they're doing is they're looking to give their dogs away to a free home, which is the absolute worst thing that you can do on anything, Craigslist, Facebook, anything, because we do have the people out there that will pick up these dogs free or very cheaply, and they use them for bait dogs for fighting.
How important is it for you to have people like Mandy and Sand Springs support Tri-State?
Very, very important, because they raised money for us. The event is wonderful. We love coming up here. We love Mandy's event. The people are all wonderful. The golfers are fantastic. And Mandy raises a lot of money, which is very, very important to us. Last year, we did 372 dogs, which is the all-time high that we have ever done. These dogs come in, they have to be neutered, spayed. A lot of them from the south come up with heartworm. They have to be treated for heartworm. A lot of care in taking care of these dogs, and the money, we need the money. One of the worst things that I have ever seen is Flash came from Kentucky, and his owner shot him, blew his leg off. So he ran to his neighbor. The neighbor got the dog, put him in her car, took him to the vet, and they called us up here to see if we would assume financial responsibility for the amputation of his leg. So they amputated his leg, they brought him up to us, and our president has adopted him. And he is the one that does our shirts. These are all his paw prints on there. He paints. And this is one of the highest selling shirts that we've ever had. That was probably the worst case that I have ever seen, and he is the biggest love you would ever want to meet for what he has gone through.
So if it wasn't for Tri-State, where would that animal be?
He would be dead. He would have bled to death somewhere.
I'm Lauren Catrino, and I have been involved with Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue for over 10 years with adopting and rescuing dogs, doing some volunteer work and some fundraising and some other activities that they need help with.
How did you get involved?
I had, when I was growing up, I had a Basset Hound mix. My parents got her as a puppy. Her mother was Basset and her father was a Springer. But she really had the Basset Hound traits. And we had that dog for 16 years, and she was just wonderful. So when it was time for me to get a dog myself, years later, I ended up getting a Basset Hound puppy from a family who bred their dog. So it was a neighborhood family that we knew. And I had her for 15 years. But I decided that after that, I really wanted to rescue. And I had been familiar with Tri-State. I had gone to some of their functions in the area, and their fundraising and picnics and some of their activities like that. And so I ended up rescuing my Molly. And she was 4 years old when we got her. She had some issues. I mean, we had to do a little house training with her and everything, but she was good. We had her for 10 years. And actually, when she was about 10, we ended up rescuing Betsy. I actually was going to foster, but when we went to pick her up at the holiday party, which is one of the events that Tri-State has, I just took her and I said, you know what, let's just adopt her right now. So we brought her home as a member of our family. So we've had, Molly passed away. We lost Molly about 1.5 years ago when she was 14. And so we've had Betsy for, we got Betsy, she was a little over 1 year old, and she's 7.5 now. And she's very big. She's the biggest Basset Hound I've ever had. I think people are referring to her as a European Basset, which tend to be a little larger. She's 75 pounds, but she's not overweight or anything. She's my big girl. And my little Molly, all my other Bassets have been about 50, 55 pounds. So she's a big one. So Betsy, they didn't really have a lot of information on her. She was kept in some type of kennel, actually somewhere up in this area. And she had Her eye was open, but it looked like she didn't have one in there. So when we rescued her, we ended up taking her to our vet, and he said, well, let's just sew up her eye because she was getting some infections and everything, and just close it up, because you normally do that if there's a problem with the eye. And he said he found an eye in there after the surgery, and he thinks it was some type of trauma that caused her issues. So we just didn't have any background on her. But she really couldn't see out of that side anyway, so she's used to working on with one eye. So you just have to be a little careful when you walk her. Sometimes she bangs into things and all, so you just have to be good. But she's adapted very well.
What is the importance of volunteering with Tri-State?
It is a completely volunteer organization, and they rely purely on donations and some gift-in-kind items. They rely on foster homes and people that do fundraising for them. And so they just need, you need a lot of help. They need a lot of help, and a lot of people are what provides that help. So it's very important to, if you can, to give your time when you can. Sand Springs has been wonderful in holding a golf tournament for the past few years to raise a lot of money for the hounds. It's a great tournament. I mean, my husband and I we've been playing in it since they started, and we're able to bring Betsy, and we used to bring Molly, and we'd have some Tri-State volunteers that would actually babysit them for us. Betsy got to ride in the golf cart last year for the first time. So it's a wonderful tournament. We love it. We love playing here. And they have wonderful raffles and 50-50s, and just all the proceeds go for the dogs. And it's important because the money is needed for kenneling costs, vet costs. They provide the food for all the people that are fostering, and costs medication and everything for everybody that's helping out with fosters. So it's very critical. The funding is very important to get to the rescue.
You just heard personal stories of neglect and what the rescue is all about. They do have a website you can visit to get more involved. Coming up, 13 years in business and growing every day, Sand Springs Country Club knows the importance of business working with its community. We talk with the general manager, John Shema, about the role the country club plays in fundraising and raising awareness about nonprofits like the Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue. Welcome back to Community NEPA. A golf course, restaurant, and wedding facility, Sand Springs Country Club is celebrating 13 years in business in Drums, Pennsylvania, and is expanding every year. General Manager John Shema loves to get involved within his community and has helped his wife Mandy and the Tri-State Basset Hound Rescue for the past several years.
My name is John Shema. I'm the General Manager here at Sand Springs. Sand Springs just celebrated its 13th anniversary this past Thursday. We've been here in Drums, PA since then. Since then, we have operated the golf course, restaurant, and we have built the new wedding facility in 2012. So we are continuing to build every year. Sand Springs loves to get involved with the community. I think it's very important, not only just to help the fundraisers out that are looking to make some extra money, but it brings us together to help our business, to help their business. I recommend to all businesses that they don't just worry and wait for a business to come to them. They approach all the businesses, local businesses, bigger businesses, because they can help out with any fundraisers they might have.
All right, let's specifically talk about the fundraiser, the golf tournament for Tri-State. How did you get involved?
Well, we've been doing the golf tournament for Tri-State for this will be our 6th year. I got involved through my wife, Mandy, who is very much involved with Tri-State. I fell in love with it and the people as soon as we were at our first event with them. So we have 5 successful years. In that 5 years, we have had 3 adoptions, 2 of them being our dogs. And I'm looking forward to having more adoptions every year we have this tournament. Everybody wants to try to make as much money as possible, and some people out there don't golf. So we do the pasta dinners, the barbecues and buffets. We also do hoagie sales and pizza sales. We are involved with many high schools, colleges, and many churches, fire companies. So if you're not a golfer and you feel that you still want to try to raise some money, definitely get in touch with me at Sand Springs here, and we can figure something out for you. I've been here for the past 8 years. This will be my 9th season here. We have grown from basically about 30 golf tournaments to over 110, and I would say a third of that is fundraiser tournaments. From Bassett's, again, to churches. We have just picked up the Pocono Greyhound tournament this past weekend, which will be in June. So it has brought us so close to the community. Again, not only just to come to the fundraisers, but they'll come in for dinner now. We go to some other events that they have that don't have anything to do with Sand Springs, and it brings us closer as a community. We are involved with Tuscus Homes, obviously our sister business. Every year we do a tournament through Tuscus Homes, and we pick a group to donate the money to. We have done, over the past 2 years, Helping Hands, and we have donated $26,000 just to that fundraiser. So every year we look for somebody different. So if you have an idea or something you're looking for, definitely don't hesitate to give us a call.
Let's talk about the expansion over the years that you've seen here on property.
Well, over the years, as you know, we have expanded tremendously. We started with a restaurant that seats 65 people and a bar that seats 50. We added the outdoor tent facility that's 3,200 square feet and seats 200 people, along with the patio that we're doing weddings on. We grew the business, so we decided to put on a new wedding facility called Celebrations at Sand Springs. That is a 5,600 square feet facility that holds 300 people. That is mainly for weddings, showers, bigger parties. This year we have added the Gardens at Sand Springs. That seats 150 people outside with waterfalls, beautiful vegetation, 2 granite top bars, stone front bars. So now you can come and have cocktail hour, your reception, or just a party, a family reunion outside. The future at Sand Springs, I think we would like to see it grow every year more and more, but we'd also like to see new people involved with Sand Springs, and we would love to be involved with new people. I get very aggressive with finding new fundraisers and with new organizations. We don't just wait for them to come to us. We try to bring them in and try to develop a relationship. So every year we set a goal here, and we try to just hit that goal and get involved with as many people as we can.
Today's show taught us the sad truth about how many dogs are being neglected and how many of them are in need of loving homes. If it weren't for the volunteers like Mandy, Kathy, and Lauren, who knows where their Basset Hounds would be or if they would even be alive. Again, know the responsibilities of owning a pet before you purchase one. Make sure the place of purchase is caring for the animals properly. And if you can, get involved with helping save these animals from abuse and neglect. For more information on the events and volunteering, go to the website www.tristatebassets.org. A dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. Josh Billings.